Hey guys, what's going on? It is Zach here, and thanks for joining my live stream. So, what am I up to? Sam is working tomorrow, and initially I was going to go and help my dad out at his place for some of the day, um, but the schedules really didn't line up quite right, so instead I decided that tomorrow I'm going to go fishing. So, I'm getting ready for that. But it's been a while since I've made a video. I think I made one last week, and so I thought I'd get ready with you guys. One little addition here, set y'all's down. So, a buddy from work happened to hit a deer on his way home. Look at that yumminess. So I got this piece of deer fur. This is off the tail, and they say that this is like. Stay here for 1 minute. The That is, if I can find my tackle box. Oh, it was right in front of me. Go figure. Oh. Curtis says, "Hey Zach, how's it going? How's married life?" Now, married life is good. You know, a lot of people that aren't married will put like they'll put like speculations on your thing, like, "Oh, it's gonna be different, man." It's like, no, it's not different at all. It's exactly the same. Okay, so this is my tackle box. I don't know how much of this stuff you guys really care about, but this is my tackle box. I got this from Samantha. It's a 728 Plano, I believe, brand. I keep some of the important stuff up top, like fillet knife. Let me hold you guys differently. What's going on, Kirk? I got a fillet knife, regulation book, stringer, and like one of my what would you call these, long pliers, tiny little flashlight, fishing line, and fishing hooks. I don't know, just stuff that really doesn't fit in any of the containers. Yeah, Curtis, those are people that will never get married. And then in here I have summer fishing, some overflow of summer fishing, and this is actually ice fishing, but I have some gulp stuff in there. But mainly it's jigs. There is some smaller weights in there too. Just kind of how it lays out comfortably. But I'll show you something here, because this is something that I really didn't know about until recently. So for a really long time, I've been fishing with, this is a nice one. These are the really nice ones with the loop on the top. But for a really long time, I've been fishing with spinner baits. This is actually like my go-to bait. And the fluff over time gets worn out and it'll fall off, right? So it might be in my gulp. Yeah. So I was at Fleet Farm, and honestly, if you guys have used these, this one here doesn't have the loop. This loop is like the cat's meow. This is a heavy one. This is a nice one. They have different variations, right? But anyways, so I was at Fleet Farm, and I happened to see, I don't know why now that I'm talking about it, I don't have them. Curtis asked where you get them. Well, these ones here without the loop, this one here, you always got to look for the double. You can get these at like Walmart. But the key is to have this loop, because the loop makes it so when you put on your leader, it won't slide to one side or whatever. But anyways, you always want to get the double fin if you can. Sometimes they just come with one larger round one like this. They don't do the trick. You need the double. But anyways, so this one here, this nice one, I get at the bait shop. But this one was like $3 and this one was $1. So you got to pick your poison. Anyways, oh yeah, right here. So I was at Fleet Farm and I noticed for about $3 you can get refills for your fluff, if you want to call it that. It's actually called, there's an actual term for it. Now, of course, I can't think of it, but you can get refills and they come with the bands, but I learned through some forums to use zip ties because those bands will wear out over time, and I just put this little clear zip tie on there, and I wish I could find some smaller ones, but I wasn't able to. But yeah, and some people say that you should sharpen your hook, but if a fish is gonna get on here, I think that, you know, this is sharp enough, right? Skirt, yes, thank you, Kirk. 1 second, hold that thought. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to pick a color here. I got a couple of these. I think I might want to do a lighter colored head. Okay, so I think I'm going to do... See, and I kind of mixed them up. See, I got a white head with dark body, yellow head, dark body, double white heads with white bodies. So the bait shop is definitely the place to get these at. You really do get better quality. You could probably find them really cheap online too. But since these ones are pretty much the same head-wise, I believe I'm just going to salvage one of these. I'll clip this zip tie. And do you ever come across blood red color shirts? Never ever. Shirts or skirts? That's the question. Oh yeah, and my phone was like at 13%, so hopefully it doesn't die while doing this. So I just took that skirt off. This is what they look like underneath. It's just this little head. Sorry, this little head with the red and then the two little thingers. And what we're gonna try, I haven't came across red. Fleet Farm really seemed to just have like white and green, and then like brown, yada yada. I like to fish for bass or northerns. That's kind of my main thing. I get a little bored when it comes to like panfish. So, anyways, for those of you that weren't here when I said this, a friend from mine hit a deer from work. He hit a deer with his truck, and he saved this piece of the tail for me because supposedly this fur, whatever you want to call it, is like really good for lures, and I've been dying to try it. But in the middle of summer, the last place you want to be is on the back end of a bloated deer on the side of a highway. Like, that does not sound like a good time. So I'm just going to trim this up using the scissors. This is nice and fatty. Smells like a nasty deer right now. But you got to do what you got to do, right? Alright, I think we're getting somewhere. Alright, so there's the deer hair. Fur, what do you guys think? Just going to set that down. Grab a zip tie here. Zip ties, they do work well. I haven't had one slide off yet. I would like to get some thinner ones, but these here are 1 1/8 to 7/8. So I don't know. Hair. Someone said hair. We'll call it deer hair. And then, where did my body go here? Oh. Take this, right? Normally you'd like hook through, so we'll just kind of jerry rig it. I just wanted to try this. I mean, it might not be as good as they say. But something about it, they're saying it drives them nuts. Maybe it's the realistic something or another, but I'm just curious because I want to see how it looks in the water. Alright. This is kind of tricky though. The good thing with those skirts that they sell, they come with a rubber band, so I doubled up. I put the zip tie on top of the rubber band. Yeah, deer hide. I hear some kids, but I don't know where they are. Okay, so this is kind of jerry-rigged, but we'll see if it works. It has some natural colors. Set on the... Yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe some epoxy would be good. I just want to see if it is any good. Yeah, I'd like to. So in the water, I'm sure this hide, whatever, will loosen up. That's what it looks like. So, let's see. Curtis asked if Sam and I are going to the tent anytime soon. I don't know. I honestly don't really. I never seen this summer for whatever instance. I mean, we had like, I had saved up a bunch of vacation for the honeymoon, and since that's all gone now, right? Honeymoon's over. Since that's all gone, I've just been kind of at work, and now I got 3 days off coming up here for my birthday. So I don't foresee it happening right now, but maybe in the fall. Oh, I get the hiccups. I don't have a lot of baits in here, if you're wondering. Obviously I'm a big fan of the spinner baits. I think they're just the funnest to throw and whatever. Then I have a couple of daredevils. I got orange and red and a smaller yellow and orange polka dot. Everything's all mixed up in here. I have this great set of little pliers, little crooked pliers I got. They work really good on like ice fish. Wow, the chat's really busy. Largemouth rock. Deer duck hunting this year, both of them. Of course, I'll be up north for duck hunting. Get rid of the pop-up. That's a good question. A lot of people did ask about the pop-up on the Jones Act Survival channel when that video came up. The pop-up is currently for sale. We went out in it for the first time this year, and we just were like, you know what? This is a lot of work for essentially a tent. And you know, the pop-up, it doesn't have a bathroom. The kitchen was taken out before I got it, so it doesn't have like a sink or anything like that. It did, but it didn't really, you know, it wasn't a sink. So it was really a heavy tent. But the kicker was the screen on the pop-up had like over time, right? It's from 1982, so it's 36 years old. Yeah, 36 years old. Over those years, the screen kind of was broken down in areas, so a lot of bugs get in. And I thought, you know, we have a brand new tent that we bought last year and we used, and it would do the same exact thing, except for I wouldn't have to tow this camper all the way up there for that. You know, I don't have to worry about the tires and stuff like that. So we just went up in a tent. It was great. And so I put it for sale because I think the next camper we end up getting, I want to definitely upgrade to something worth having. And I put it on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, and I haven't really had any activity on Craigslist, but the Facebook Marketplace is the weirdest thing ever because so many people go, "Is this still available?" And you answer them like, "Yeah, would you like to come see it?" And then they never respond again. So I don't know if they say that like before they take a look at it, or I don't know what, but it's just, um, yeah. The pop up, I think I have it on there for like $700, just because you start high, and and there's another thing too is some people they'll message you and they'll say, "What's your bottom dollar?" And I always respond the same way. I say, "Well, I'm not going to negotiate until you come and look at it, because I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh yeah, I'll take, let's say, "Oh yeah, I'll take $500 for it." And then they come out there and they look at it, but you've already negotiated it down before they looked at it, and then at that point they can negotiate it down again. So I just say, like, yeah, I'm willing to negotiate on it, but I'd like it if you came and took a look, take a look at it, because you should see it before we do anything like that. And I know that kind of turns off. I think that happened twice, and that kind of turns people off because they don't want to come out here and look at it. But I do say, yeah, I'm negotiable on it, but I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, this is totally, $300. I think it's worth more than that. I mean, after all, I think for somebody that would want a camper like that, it would be fine. My biggest thing is it has the redone cushions, which make it look really nice. It has like really new tires on it, a brand new spare that's never been used. And I put those leveling jacks, which were $100 on there. So, I mean, if you break it down as to, like, two tires, that's probably $80. It's actually three tires, so you're talking like $120, and then another $100 for those jacks, and then the interior and just the fact that it's a camper. I think you'd get your money's worth out of it for $500. Now, we'll see, right? Let's see. Marcia said, "Hi, see what you guys think of used A-liners. They are pretty sweet." If I'm remembering right, those are those campers that are in the shape of an A. And I've looked at the inside, and Sam and I are kind of like intrigued to see what they would look like, but I don't think that would really do it for us. Coke or Pepsi? Trying to see here. I like them both in different ways. Like, I like Dr. Pepper, but I also like just a Coke. And Canada Dry seems to be pretty good right now. I don't know why. What else do we got going on here? How's the truck? The truck's doing great. I did that oil change to do my little oil pressure test, and it's the same. I think it has higher oil pressure when it's cold, right? Because it's a different oil blend or whatever. But once it gets warm, it's right back to where it was. So I don't think that the oil even matters. And yeah, so I think my next one I'll go with the fully synthetic Dexos, or whatever you want to call it, Dexus blend. Slim Potato Head on YouTube will give you some really great videos on his A-liner. I'll try to look it up sometime. Robert asked, "Did you go to the family reunion?" Yes, I did. And then Evans Auto Repair said, "Up, buddy." I don't know what that means, but regardless, I'll go over my rods with you guys. Set you back down so I can grab my rods. Okay, so I have, what's up? That's what it was. So I have four rods. The three I always bring are these, and I'm hoping for my birthday to get a second open face reel and rod like this one. Reason being, I'll get to, but I never really realized this until recently when I have started going fishing more, but it really is a pain to have to re-rig a bunch of fishing poles every time you go out for whatever reason. So these two are set up. Geez, I think this might be 15 pound, but it's, you know, heavier line on this. This is a Bass Pro Shop rod or reel here, and I put on a 20-pound leader, which seems to be hit or miss. A lot of people don't like using these, but I really hate losing $5 or $6 lures, so I'd rather have this on there. But that's what I'm gonna get to. And then I have this one on an ugly stick. This is a medium or a light action 5-foot. I don't mind the short rods. I kind of want to try like a 7-foot rod, 7.5. But yeah, I like this one. It's very nice. I've had it for a long time, and I like ugly stick rods. They were like the thing back then. Now everybody's all custom. Go with the custom rod. This one here, same line. This is a cheaper Walmart one, and I've had this one. This is my first ever bait caster. This is on a ugly stick as well. This is a medium, yeah, 5.5-foot rod, medium ugly stick as well. And I also, this is kind of my preferred handle. You got the hump at the end. I really do like that, but this one works fine also. It's just kind of a regular. So, yeah. Like this one. And this one is a Platinum, which is a Pinnacle Walmart brand. But it's been very good. The plastic piece for the thumb fell off a long time ago, but she still works beautifully. So, yeah. I got two of those. I can put a spinnerbait on one and maybe a Daredevil on the other. And then this one here is this is all a Shakespeare. This is a really cheap Walmart rod. But I like to use this one for panfish or, you know, sunfish. But I also like to use this rod for my, like I have a float on top frog one. You kind of have to use one of these for them because you can't cast worth a dang with one of these. It has to be a heavy, kind of a heavy jig. They're finicky like that. And then, so this is good for a little light action, and then it's really sensitive so you can walk your jig across the water. So, and I switched the handle around. Obviously it was on the left side, but I've switched it to the right. I'm kind of left and right hand with stuff. I always have been. So like I play hockey or swing a bat with my left-handed, but then I right-handed, or if I shoot a gun, my right side is my dominant side. So personally, I like to have control of the rod with my left hand and then reel with my right. So I flip this around and it works wonders. You know, you just have to make sure that you put some Loctite on here, or, you know, just make sure you mentally like, oh yeah, I should tighten that every couple casts, just make sure it's good and go on. But that's why I want to get a second one, because I want one of these rigged. Probably this one would be rigged for bobber fishing, and then the other one would be rigged for like a top water bait, something of that nature. But I've kind of like realized that it's a pain in the butt to re-rig all the dang time. So those are my three main rods. I have a closed face, just the old like button push kind, and I never use that one though. Let's see. What lake are you going to tomorrow? I live near you, so I was just curious. I have no idea what lake I'm going to yet. I tried Julia and Briggs. That was a bust. Tried like 3-4 lakes this year. I tried Cedar Lake. That was a bust. Trying to think of all of them that I've tried. I just haven't got on them this year, so I don't know which way I'm going tomorrow. I haven't quite decided yet. I'm not going to wake up at, what was it, 5 o'clock? No, 4 o'clock in the morning like I did last time. I'm gonna wake up at like 7 or 8 and putts out there. Maybe I'll get something. Yeah, I think I was gonna be trying too hard. The Leg 1978 said, "How is the new business going?" I haven't done anything with it. Reason being, it's the middle of the season. I don't want to waste those cards on people that probably either already have a lawn care thing or already have it figured out. A lot of people commented a lot of great things, like, "Hey, you should have business liability insurance. You need an LLC. You need this. You need that. Blah blah blah." I mean, some people were really helpful, and that's fine, right? But some people said you need to get a zero-turn mower and all steel equipment and yada yada yada, and it's like, if I had 20 grand to sink into a business investment, I would, but I don't have 20 grand that I can sink into a business investment. So we got to start small, and so I need to come up with that. I definitely want a game plan for the business. So I got the postcards. I've been revamping what I've been thinking. So, I think that next spring or, late winter, I'll unroll that and see what I can get. But I want to get a new mower, stuff like that. That's really my main thing, is I'd like to get a new mower. Because I don't have the bagging attachment for this one, and I think that's going to be so critical. So I really want a new push mower, and we'll work up from there, right? But I don't want to buy a zero turn for. You can get them brand new for $2,000, or you can get a used one for $1,200, because it's really like not where I want to start. I need to start out really small, barely no investment, build it from there. That way I'm not stuck with my tiny yard and a zero turn mower that it will never get used. Ginny Wolf asked, "So do you guys have many catfish at the tent?" Because I have never seen you guys ever catch any in your videos. We do catch some fish. We don't fish a lot. My dad especially doesn't fish a lot up there. And that lake is like, I think any other lake. You go out there and they're either ready to go or they're not. So, you go out there and you fish your couple key spots that you can get fish. My dad's been going up there for years, so he has it pretty dialed in. If they're not biting, they're not biting. So, and a lot of times they're not biting. That's why it's fishing, right? And sometimes they are, but, I think sometimes also you go out there and you don't bring a camera, because at what point do you have to, at what point does this production of video become like me time? You're going, let's say you have a cabin, you go up to your cabin, but now it's like almost a necessity that you record every last thing you do. Like, there is stuff where it's like, yeah, I'm going to go out and go fishing, relax for a couple minutes. I don't need to bring the camera. It's hard to record fishing in a boat. It really is. What's your favorite lake fish for eating? Bass. Does sturgeon fishing interest you? Haven't really thought about it. I would like to do muskies, but that's kind of hard to get in on. Oop. Cancel that. You're right about that one. I fish for wide range. I don't want to shake you guys around too much. Curtis said, "You're right about that one. I fish for a wide range of fish, from crappies, bluegill, bass, walleyes. I have a number of rods for a wide range of fishing conditions. Ugly Stick G2 rods have come a long way." That's really it. Some people want to fish for one species, just like I just got done saying. Sometimes they're, on, and sometimes they're not. And a lot of times, if bass or northerns are not on, you can always bobber fish and get something. So sometimes you'll be fishing for bass, get nothing, throw a bobber in for a couple minutes, and just relax, and then try again. Jenny asked, "What is Sam doing tonight?" She is either laying in bed or sleeping. She has to work in the morning. Beast Mode said, "Nice. If you ever want to go north, there's a few lakes that I go to that always get good luck. The lakes I'm pretty sure you have heard of are Alexander, Crookneck, uh, Shemania. I don't know how you could say that, and many lakes near there are always good if you want to try them out. Well, I'll have to see." New business. Get your name out. Advertisement is key along with good recommendations. Praying for success. How about pressure washing? The washer will sell quickly if you don't end up getting anywhere with that. Well, the pressure washer has developed an issue. And I can explain that to you guys. So, I got it going for the year. It needed a new O-ring on the bowl for the carburetor because it was leaking. So I got a whole kit of O-rings here, right there. Put a new O-ring on it. It runs fantastic, right? I'm out there pressure washing and it worked great for like 15 minutes. And then it kind of got a weird tone to it, and I could feel the shake in the nozzle, and it lost its pressure. So today I took the pump apart, made sure all the different channels were cleaned out, put new O-rings in it. I took it apart down to like where the oil goes, but I did replace the oil in it. But I took it apart, whatever. Everything in there looks good. There wasn't any chunks of debris to write home about or anything like that. So it has to do something with the pump. But so I think I'm gonna have to take it apart in the spring area. I thought it was the it's like a pressure release valve. It's a little spring on there, but when I took that apart, I made sure it worked. And I replaced the O-rings on it, and it still has the same problem. So I haven't done a ton of research, only a few minutes, and excuse me, and yeah, you troubleshoot it, I guess. But Marsha, I would like to add pressure washing to the lawn care business because I think that is a niche, right? It's not every day that that you have someone come around and say, "Hey, would you like me to pressure wash your siding?" It's really simple, right? You put on the low flow nozzle, put on your soap, so it mixes it, and soap it down, and then wash it off with that light nozzle, and it works wonders. So I don't know. If I can get it to go, I can get it to go. I don't want to put a $100 pump on it though. The Slag said, "Bought myself a Kimco Agility 125 yesterday after watching your videos. Any suggestions for accessories or recommendations for a tune-up?" Well, I believe you're talking about a moped, or sorry, a scooter, right? What is it? A moped has pedals, whatever. Everybody knows it as mopeds. 125, huh? That's a nice bike. Well, one thing that I really wanted to get for mine is a pop holder, just one of those cheap little plastic ones, because it's really fun to take it up to the gas station and get a coffee, but you don't have a holder for it. So that's like one thing. And then, what are your other, a tune-up? Any accessories or recommendations for a tune-up? Tune-up wise, I know that one of the most finicky things is the spark plug. So just go to your local like Ace Hardware and get the spark plug best for your bike, because that'll probably be one of the first things you want to go to if it has trouble starting or whatever. They always say change the spark plug because they can get fouled or whatever. But overall, they're really fun. And if people can just get over the fact that it is a scooter. A lot of people think like you have to be a freaking boss, and ride your Harley or whatever. It's like, no, if you're on two wheels, it's fun. Whether it's a pedal bike or a scooter or whatever, it's just fun. So, overall, I love scootering. You should bring your scooter up to duck camp. Lots of trails to ride on. Yeah. I have a scooter for sale right now. I'm kind of done scooting. Um, we had the moped gang at work where we had 3 scooters and a pocket bike and everybody was riding, and then the pocket rocket got a flat tire and a scooter got a flat tire, and nobody really wants to fix them. They just want to let them sit there. So I don't mind scooting around by myself, but got kind of old after I put on some miles. So, and it only goes 30, so I am kind of restricted to the city here, but I want to sell it and then upgrade to like a 125, 150, maybe even a 250 in the future, and um, yeah, just because that way you can go 55, and it's funner if you go 55. What's up, William? And also, with the 50cc scooter, when you're trail riding, you're going like 5 miles an hour. They're pretty gutless if you come up to any hill, even with one person on there. They work on flat ground and long distance. That's how you get the most out of them. But come down to STL. What is STL? Southern Texas or something like that. I don't know what STL is. William says St. Louis. Okay. William says it's been a while. Hope you're doing okay. Yeah, I'm doing great. Haven't been making videos because I haven't been doing anything other than working. So I've been working. It's not crazy hours, but I've been putting in 10-hour days. So for whatever reason, you can work 8 hours and you're fine. For me, I can work 8 hours and I feel good and I have time at the end of the day to do stuff. But when I get home at 2:30, I have enough time to eat and kind of chill out and go to bed. And then I wake up later. I wake up at 11 or 11:30, and then your body's just physically tired. At least mine gets tired. So then I kind of lounge all day and do my daily chores, dishes and feed the animals and stuff, and then it's time to go back to work. So this hasn't really been. Joe asked, when are you hoping to finish this sheetrock in the garage? I've been thinking of taking it down. Actually, last year I ran my heater. You can kind of see it under the workbench there. I ran that in here with the open ceiling, and it was amazing. Like, it heated it right up in here. It wasn't fumey at all. It was great. As soon as I put half this sheetrock up, it pushed the fumes, made a different circulation in here. And the fumes were intense, right? So I thought maybe it would be best if I took the sheetrock down, because I kind of did a junky job. It's not junky, like you can salvage the ceiling, but I don't like that I put it up in 4-foot pieces. And I did store like lumber and stuff up there beforehand, so I'm thinking of taking it down and then just getting rid of this other sheetrock that I have in the garage. Sheetrock is cheap, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. It's a lot of work, and yeah, it would look fine and it pushes more light down, but really how it affected the garage is I feel like it's hotter in the summer because now the heat sticks right here, there's less head room. And then in the wintertime, it made it fumier in here. I don't know how to explain it. Like the fumes stay low, but for whatever reason, the way that it flowed in here beforehand was better. So, yeah. The Slag said, add a GoPro camera to the scooter and do some video blogging. People will watch your adventures. Yeah, I kind of did that with like a chest mount, but I thought it kind of made me look like a dork. And I guess I really don't care what people think of me, but like, I don't know, I didn't like it. I felt unsafe on the fact that my scooter could only go 30 miles an hour, and it took a minute to get there, to get up to 30, and it is kind of dangerous in that sense of you don't have any power to get out of the way. Sometimes you got to get out of the way, but you just don't have that power, right? So yeah, I'm thinking we'll unplug you guys. Hopefully my battery has some juice in it here. 12%. That's no good. Gotta flip around the truck. Oh, I just lost half my keys. Gotta flip around the truck. Oh my gosh, I just lost more of my keys. Oh my, they are all completely fell off my carabiner. And now my carabiner has fallen on the ground. Okay, we are going to simplify. Just need this. Truck's doing good though. Alright, see you later, Whitetail. You've been drinking? You guys know better than that, I don't drink. So, can I flip this around? Oh yeah, I can. Alright, we'll do the start so you guys can see. So yeah, she's been running good. Yeah, she's doing real good. But the kicker is it still does have like that tick in the motor that it had before, and reading online they say, oh yeah, that's kind of common for this year truck because it has just what it is or whatever. It's just more common, but I don't like to think that. I think that I have a lifter that's maybe a little goofy. That I don't know if it was because I ran it out of oil. I did not run it out of oil. I mean, the oil light wasn't even on. It was like 1 quart low, which should not make any sort of a difference. But regardless, some say that it's the fact that it's direct in what they say, direct injection with fuel or something like that. That it my neighbors love when I do this. That it can have that tick to it, but I don't know. It just is the way it is. I still have to move over more. Oh my goodness. Oh, come on now. It's harder to do when I'm not paying attention. Okay, there we go. Seems legitimate. Now we can actually pack some stuff up and get ready. Yeah, here's the camper, by the way. Okay. So I gotta get you guys plugged back in because I'm sure you're pretty low on the battery now. And I can start loading stuff up and answering some questions again. There we go. Does the lifter tick come, or does the ticking come from the lifters? And then Jenny said, I understand my family does a commercial fishing. Does the ticking come from the lifters? I don't know. I'm not super like a motor guy, I guess. I mean, like, I don't know much about what the heck is going on under there, but like, I can figure some stuff out. It just, yeah. I had a family reunion today, yes. Got to load it up. Heavy box. Oh my goodness. What could be in the box? Proof time. Good time? Yeah, it was pretty good. Seen a lot of family that I haven't seen in a while, so that was nice. my grandpa said that it's the last family reunion that he'll ever host. So he might have another one though. He might have another 5 years. He might get the itch to do it again. How many boats does he have? I think maybe 3. I think he has two up here and 1 in Louisiana. Or else he might have 3 up here, but I think he just has 3. I think so. And that's just like regular boats, you know. He has this canoe and the Argo. Those are both like watercraft in themselves. But yeah, I think it's just the 3. Do you guys ever fish for walleyes up the tent? We don't, but some people do. I mean, we've talked to people up there before, and they'll say like, yeah, we fish for walleyes here, but my grandpa's tried for walleyes a lot up there, and he never catches any, so maybe those people are lying. Or they never catch anything, but they try. But there could be walleyes, I guess. Kirk said I should get the one from my dad in Louisiana. That'd be cool, but I don't think so. My dad likes to hold on to stuff like that. What good is having a survival tent if everyone knows where it's at? But it's on a lake in Minnesota. Search them all. Yeah. What lake is the tent on? Oh, I see. Yeah, no, we don't really tell people that. Yeah, I mean, if you looked up lakes, you would eventually find it. Maybe. It is really weird though when like some random person will be like, "Oh, I found what lake the tent is on," and then they'll say it, and it's like, man, like, where on earth did you get that from? You know, like it's kind of creepy. It's kind of weird because like I've watched like Survival Lily, or there's a bunch of survivalist type people on YouTube, and I've watched all of them, and I never ever got the urge to be like, where is this? You know, I need to know where they're at. It's kind of creepy in that kind of a way. Like, I don't think anybody needs to know that bad. I put a mud motor on it and use it for duck hunting. Yeah, that'd be a good one. Xander said, just turn the computer on. What are you packing for? I'm going fishing tomorrow. That's what I'm packing for. So here's kind of a funny thing. This is my 3-way ball, and it's very sloppy. Very sloppy. I have a 2-inch ball, and then I have this one. And the ball that I installed on this trailer was an 1 7/8 because it's a very light duty made trailer. So you want it to say that by putting a light ball on it. So I put 1 7/8 on here. Well, this 3-way is sloppy, so I wrapped some tape on it and it seems to be better. But my 2-inch it fits in there perfectly and doesn't wobble around at all. So I've done some forum research on it, and they say that you know, they just make them out of different steel, different sizes of steel. So I mean, that receiver is like a 2-inch receiver, and this is it's an 1 15/16 over here, and yeah, I don't know. One of the two are sloppy, but the other one fits in there perfect, and this one slops around. And I think some people were saying that they make the new ones a little bit bigger on the trucks so that they don't rust in like they used to. But this tape is Gorilla Tape because I just had it laying around. But they also say that you can weld a bead on here on the corners and then grind it off. I thought about that, but then I thought you're bound to weaken the steel. So, I mean, like here, I'll show you this, right? So this is just your Walmart like $25 one, but I think they rate them for about 5,000 pounds. But you tell me, okay? Look at this weld. You look at this weld. This right here, this area right in here where I can fit my full fingernail, right? They call that undercut. So this ball is welded like absolute garbage. So I seen a guy at my work, he had one of these. He had a car trailer with a Model A on it. Same thing right here. You can see all the undercut. So light duty only. I would never do a 2 5/8 camper on here. I would never pull a car trailer with one of these. They're garbage. But for 20-something bucks, I like this because you can, like if I'm at my dad's and I need a trailer or something, or if I see a boat on Craigslist that I want to get, I can go pick it up, right? Because those things are light. But if I see a 30-foot camper trailer, I'm not hooking it up to this thing. Heck no. Mine is rusted in. LOL, it will never come off. Yeah. It's not as hard as people think, though. You take a sledgehammer and you beat that thing for like just a couple whacks, under 10 whacks, it'll come right out. I guarantee it. But, yeah, so this has been about 54 minutes. So I'm going to wrap it up here. But thanks, guys, for watching. Guys, talk to you later.